What course will the future of Israel and its continent set for our global narratives? A query as multifaceted as the history of this land, as complex as the tapestry of cultures that call it home. Our odyssey commences in the year 2021 under the specter of conflict and political tumult. Israel, a nation renowned for its tenacity, found itself at a pivotal juncture. The reign of Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel's longest-serving prime minister, teetered on the precipice of termination, rocked by corruption allegations and the failure to assemble a stable coalition government. According to Transparency International, Israel was ranked 35th out of 180 in the Corruption Perception Index in 2020, reflecting a declining trend. The conflict with Palestinians, however, provided Netanyahu an unanticipated lifeline. This was a dramatic escalation from skirmishes in East Jerusalem to a fully fledged war that involved both Hamas and the Israeli Defense Force. According to the United Nations, the 11-day war in May resulted in 242 deaths in Gaza and 10 in Israel. The war rekindled Netanyahu's popularity and staved off the termination of his reign. As noted by Israeli historian Benny Morris, crises tend to strengthen incumbents. Netanyahu is an old hand at manipulating such situations. Yet the future remained uncertain, with the possibility of a fifth election looming in the autumn of that year. The impact was not just localized. It had far-reaching global consequences. The conflict ignited protests and political tensions worldwide, with countries divided in their support for Israel or Palestine. The UN Secretary-General, Antonio Guterres, described the violence as utterly appalling, and the world watched with bated breath as the region teetered on the brink of war. Meanwhile, Israel's relationship with the United States, a key ally, underwent a significant reset under the leadership of the new Prime Minister, Naftali Bennett. The government sought to strengthen its ties with the US and caught the Democrats who had been critical of Israeli policies towards Palestinians. The Bennett administration made several progressive changes, yet the issue of Israeli settlements in the West Bank persisted, continuing to frustrate Palestinians and human rights groups. Fast forward to 2023, a year that marked a significant shift in the geopolitical landscape. Saudi Arabia and Iran, two major players in the Middle East, restored diplomatic ties with China's assistance. This move signaled a potential decrease in US influence in the region and complicated efforts to normalize relations between Saudi Arabia and Israel. The restoration of ties between Saudi Arabia and Iran also raised hopes for an end to the proxy war in Yemen, highlighting China's growing influence in the Middle East. In summary, the past 2 years have witnessed a series of significant shifts in Israel's political landscape and its relationships with key players on the global stage. The uncertainty surrounding Netanyahu's reign, the reset in Israel-US relations under the Bennett administration, and the restoration of diplomatic ties between Saudi Arabia and Iran are all indicative of the evolving geopolitical dynamics in the region. As we look towards the future, the question remains, how will these shifts shape the future of Israel and its continent? The answer, as always, lies in the unfolding of time.